Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ineos podcast. It's been a while, and we've had a long period of time without a game, but we have to talk about the trending issues and stuff. Yeah, and after this video, you might get another video that talks about transfers and the Man United manager search. But this one is the controversy between Man United legend Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick, and it's been making waves over the last week, but it appears to be a case of social media misinterpretation. But then, knowing fully well that people are going to listen to whatever you say and react however they please to a certain situation should give you an understanding of how to react. But then, or how to respond or how to put stuff out on social media. Now, basically, just to give you a bit of a background as to what happened following the 2-1 loss, Man United's 2-1 loss to Newcastle, which was Michael Carrick's first defeat since, taking interim charge in mid-January. Paul Scholes posted on his Instagram story that quickly went viral, and he said Michael has definitely got something special about him. We did a video of it, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. He says, and we showed you the clip. He says Michael has definitely got something about him because United have been crap last 4 games. Good night. Now, that's a very conflicting statement. Michael has definitely got something special about him because United. So separating both, it's United's fault that United lost, but not Michael Carrick's fault. So everybody, like Michael Carrick, is not culpable. So it boils down to a whole lot of things, and it caused a lot of confusion on the internet, and it caused a divide in the fan base. That post was later deleted shortly after, and it was widely interpreted by the fans and pundits, including Patrice Evra, Michael Richards, Wayne Rooney, and co, as a sarcastic jab at Michael Carrick's managerial credentials. I mean, we've put it out there already that Michael Carrick, he said in the other video we analyzed, he said himself that Michael Carrick has no experience, and that with being Man United manager, with being Man United manager, you basically don't. So he was saying basically that Michael Carrick, as a Man United manager, does not have experience, and that Man United as a team or as a club does not require any manager who has tactical knowledge, who is a tactician, or in other words, who is a specialist manager. So these are the words of Paul Scholes, and basically him coming out. I mean, people have watched his content, people have watched his podcast, and they've been able to draw up conclusions to say, okay, basically that this guy will be able to make comments like these, and whatever comments he makes after that will be a jab at Michael Carrick. And that is what it is. He's questioned Michael Carrick's credentials. He's questioned Michael Carrick's experience. I mean, for a manager who has coached at a club like Middlesbrough for like almost 3 years, since 2022 since when he left Man United as assistant coach, to you question his experience, question his ability. It comes to a big club like Man United, and to think about the fact that this guy has played for Man United before, and basically he understands what it means to be a United player and the United manager. I mean, to play at a club of this magnitude and can be able to transfer such skills to other players. Then you also have to think about the perspective of the fact that obviously Michael Carrick is not a Man United born and bred. He was born he played or actually started his career at Newcastle and then went on to play at, I think, West Ham and then Tottenham, and then was signed at Manchester United. But then, obviously, you have to kind of just basically think about the fact that, okay, you have to talk about the Man United DNA and him being part of the United family and playing for the most part of his career at Manchester United, even retiring at Man United after being signed from Tottenham in 2005, kind of basically gives you the idea that, okay, if somebody has stayed more than 10 years at a club, he probably would already become part of the fabrics of the club. But then Paul Scholes questions him. Paul Scholes says the ownership, I mean, he's come up with many comments. Paul Scholes says the ownership don't know who a Man United manager is. They don't know who a Man United player is. And I've asked this question several times, like, do people really understand the gravity of that comment? Because if Paul Scholes is saying they don't know who a Man United player or manager is, then Paul Scholes himself should come out and tell us who a Man United manager is. But it is what it is. So basically, Paul Scholes now had to come out to clarify. And he says, on the good, the bad, and the football, he says he addressed the backlash on his podcast, insisting that his words were meant as a compliment, not an insult. And basically, we're going to break down the core of what he said, and then we'll now tell you about the state of play at Man United before we move on. So we're going to get you the video so you can actually get an understanding of what he's actually saying, right? So the video, basically, with regards to how, I mean, his reaction and everything. And mind you, right, this is not the first time Paul Scholes has come out to defend. You know, he in his comments when he said Amorim doesn't get it, he came out to explain. But in his explanation, he was clamping down on it. Now he's coming out to explain because obviously Carrick is his mate. And you understand what that means. But the truth is, he's so full of so much negativity that I've even had some fans, you know, come out in the comment section of the last video I made like a day ago saying Scholes is jealous, right? Scholes is jealous. And the truth is, it's not far from it, because this is a guy who has coached at different clubs and has failed at it. And then he's come here and then he's basically slagging off another manager, slagging off every other manager. And I played you a video from like 2021 talking about it. But it is what it is. We're going to listen to it and basically react to it as it is.
It's in no way intended to be offensive towards Michael.
Wes Brown is there in the picture, right? Wes Brown is there in the picture. And Paul Scholes says it in no way intended to offend Michael Carrick. Let's go it again.
It's in no way intended to be offensive towards
That's
Michael.
Wes Brown right there.
But Michael is one of the nicest people you will ever meet in football.
He says Michael is one of the nicest people you ever meet in football. Yeah, so I think same words Michael Richards said though. But it is what it is. Let's keep it going. Because the truth is, this is him trying to do, in fact, this is what fans will call damage control. This is him trying to do damage control in the real sense of things, right?
Well, he'd be the last person I would want to offend.
He says he'll be the last person Michael Carrick would want. I mean, Michael Carrick will be the last person he would want to offend. But the truth is, this is all like damage control. This is all damage control. There's nothing you want to say about that doesn't justify, that justifies the fact that you actually slag the team and slag the manager. But then he's offending the team, like throwing the team under the bus while backing the manager. It can be interpreted as that, and could also be interpreted as he is slagging both the manager and the team. Oh, Michael has got something to say about him, but he's not good enough to coach this team. That's pretty much what it could be interpreted as. And you know that your words carry weight. Just the way I try as much as possible to analyze. I've had negative comments, even very recently, you know, on the videos. And the truth is, once you come off negative to kind of put some fans off, I can respect your opinion, but if your opinion is targeted at insulting other people or insulting the community or insulting me, I mean, you're going to get blocked. You're going to get pushed aside. But that's the truth. But I'll respect your opinion if it is in a way, you know, it might be opposing to what I think, but can also come across as, you know, derogatory if you are insulting. But if it's opposing to what I think, fine. I'll respect your opinion and I'll comment if I have a view. But the truth is, you coming out and slagging the team, or you coming out and slagging the manager without anything constructive about it, is offensive at the first glance, right? But we're going to keep going.
I would want to offend. Well, I messaged Michael anyway. I went straight to Michael and said, look, I was never intending to upset you.
Yeah. You had to message. That's to tell you that obviously your words really, you know, got the better of like you, and basically you dividing the fan base was actually what was there. And most people, especially like the top guys, the big guys who have been making content for the longest time, will have something against you and they'll be very disappointed. And you know this, but you still do it on a daily. He does it on a whim, literally.
I don't think I needed to say that. And he told me himself he wasn't upset by it. I think people have just took it differently from what was meant.
The truth is, no, you're not going to be there to explain your intentions if you put out stuff like that. You're not going to be there to explain your intentions if you put out stuff in the night and say good night, and then you expect that the fans are not going to read different meanings. Anything you put out there has different meanings. Even the way I'm analyzing this video, someone else might see it differently. I'm open to that. I'm open to whatever is said, but the fact is you're not going to be there to actually defend your thoughts. So know how you put stuff out. If you want to be analytical, be analytical. If you want to be level-headed, be level-headed. If you want to be reacting as a fan, be reacting as a fan. But he's your mate. You guys have played together. You played under the same manager. You played in the same era, and you still slagged him. Like, that is absolutely preposterous coming from Paul Scholes.
Thing I was saying was that I don't think they played that well the last 4 games, and he's still managing to get results. We had the greatest manager in the world, and he always said sometimes you need a bit of luck. So we're sending offs and different things that happen through games. Sometimes you do need a bit of luck. That's all I was saying.
That's not what you were saying. Your exact words were, Michael's definitely got something special about him. Okay, where's the luck there? Where's the words that say sometimes you need, if you put sometimes you need a bit of luck, and today wasn't the day, and the guys have not played particularly well, that's absolutely different. But you say Michael's got something special about him because United have been crap last 4 games. Night. What does that mean? This is absolutely the opposite of what you were trying to say.
I can see both ways. When Scholes explained it to me, completely makes sense. But how I read it is if you're having a go at him. Exactly.
Wes Brown, tell him.
What Wes said, and I hadn't heard that before, was that I was saying he was just a lucky manager. I wasn't saying that. I was saying...
Exactly. Wes Brown read it as, Paul Scholes Michael Carrick is a lucky manager to actually be in this job. So you see, now the exact words, Michael's got something special about him because United have been crap last 4 games. Those are 2 words. You're trying to use a conjunction with the 3 dots to actually say the team has been crap, Michael's been special, but he's been lucky to actually get some wins over the last 4 games. Like, bro.
He's a very talented manager because he's getting results with a team that for the last 4 games since the West Ham game, I didn't think we were playing very well. That's all. If
you didn't think that the team hasn't been playing well, that makes most of us as well. We felt that the team hasn't been playing well, not just from the West Ham game, from the Fulham game. That's a fact.
And Michael would never have took it the way that...
Yeah. It is not about Michael at this point. It's actually about the fan base. Whether you are slagging Michael or not, the fan base is definitely going to react because for some of the fans, Michael Carrick has brought a new lease of life to the fan base. And if you slag Michael, you slag the fan base, you slag the club. That's the point that they keep missing.
Took it the way it was meant, like Oscar was just saying, but a bit. Look, Michael even said himself, we've not played well the last few games.
He said it, yeah, that's the fact. But the truth is, it's the fan base. He's brought a new lease of life, and you've slagged the fan base, slagged the club, slagged the players. How do you expect the players to feel that you're coming out to say stuff like that? That's the truth. So that's pretty much, basically what. What Paul Scholes came out to say, and that's what was actually very, very disappointing, considering the fact that the club is having a bad run this season, coming to the last 9 games, only 9 games left in the season, right? And we're going through an injury crisis and everything in between at the back, especially. Then you come out to say stuff. How do you expect the players to react to it, right? Now, just to kind of give you a breakdown of the clarification, and then we'll tell you the state of the club. Paul Scholes addressed the backlash on his podcast, insisting that his words were meant as a compliment, not an insult. And his core argument was that the intent was that he believes that United's performances have been poor in recent games, yet Carrick still managed to find ways to get results. I mean, if he said that, that's even different, because there are times when United have been poor under Sir Alex Ferguson, and we still managed to get results. So if you said, oh, Michael Carrick has managed to get results despite the fact that the team has been poor, that's even better, right? Now, the context. Paul Scholes actually argued that even the greatest managers, including Sir Alex Ferguson, often needed a bit of luck. Also, often needed that a bit of luck sometimes required to win. Is sometimes required to win, right? He claims that he was highlighting Carrick's ability to navigate difficult matches rather than dismissing him as a lucky manager. And the lucky manager context came as a result of Wes Brown reading that as it, basically him being lucky. Now, the relationship of between Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick was evident basically in the fact that he reached out to Carrick personally. He says he reached out to Carrick personally to clarify his intentions, and according to Scholes, Carrick was not upset by the comment. And yeah, you could say that, but the truth is, it is not about Michael Carrick anymore. It's about the whole club as Man United, and it's about the whole team, and it's also about the fan base, because it's the division from the fan base. The fan base has been taking backlash from ex-players like Jimmy Carragher, like Roy Keane, like even Gary Neville, and then Evra had to stand up. Michael Carrick and Michael Richard had to stand up, and also Wayne Rooney too had to stand up. So sometimes when a team is doing well and there's a blip, acknowledge the fact that, okay, they've managed to get some wins here and there, but this blip is also going to be a lesson, right? In as much as we have come out to criticize some of them, at the back of our minds or at the back of our hearts, we all want this club to succeed, and we all believe that sometimes you need luck to win, but we also don't want a situation where we have to rely on luck all the time. Pretty straightforward right there, right? Now, the current state of play at Old Trafford is pretty much what we're going to explain to kind of wrap up this video, where we say the timing of this incident is particularly sensitive because the club is in a state of transition, and that's a fact. Interim success, yes, since replacing Ruben Amorim on January 5th, 2026, Michael Carrick has been credited with an impressive turnaround, guiding the team to third in the Premier League, no doubt. Now, the uncertain future aspect of this current state is the fact that while Carrick is firmly in the conversation to take the job permanently, the club hierarchy is reportedly still conducting an exhaustive search for a long-term manager. Now, with regards to the fan sentiment, which is the most important part of why I'm making this reaction and why we're talking about this, the reaction has been basically polarized because some fans view Scholes as bitter or seeking attention through blunt commentary. And in truth, somebody has Mbaki, C8, Mbaki, that's the only what I can call the name, a day ago, commented on that Scholes video that I released saying Scholes is jealous, and with a laughing emoji. And that's the fact, because amongst all of the so-called class of 92, none of them are coaching. They're all pundits, basically, including Nicky Butt, who was academy director or something in the academy, technical director of the academy or academy whatever, academy director. He's not coaching any big club. Paul Scholes is not coaching any big club. These are the issues that we need to look at, right? So when they make comments like that, they cause a division in the fan base, and it is not good, right? Now, people are saying he's attention seeking, he's bitter, and all of that, while others see it as a trademark, straight talking punditry expected from his generation of players. And in truth, that is what they've come out to do, and that's been the situation of the club, and that's been the issue with the club, especially with the ex-players. The situation is a perfect example of how quickly a throwaway comment on social media can spiral into major sports headline, and it's clear that both men have moved past it. No doubt, Michael Carrick says it's not a big deal for him, but even if the public debate continues, the fact is they've moved past it. But then, you have to just, in other words, say it is better to be careful what you put out there. If it is not constructive, no need to put it out there. Even for me, sometimes when I've reacted, I've always reacted with a solution, not just kind of just coming out to bluntly react and just throw away words and all of that. Just so yeah, it is what it is. Paul Scholes still, I mean, the last time he came against like the board and the manager of the club at the time, it put a lot of pressure on the team, put a lot of pressure on the manager. So we're going to continue to react to this. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. I felt like I needed to bring this up because I already brought out the reaction to Paul Scholes' quotes, and then to come up with another one to basically say, you know what, this guy, you know, just always spews rubbish when he needs to. Like I said, and I always say in my video, their legacy is untouchable. Their legacy aside, they've won things at the club. But then the way they treat this team is as if they don't want the team to actually come out of the dirt or rise above, you know, what they've done. But it is what it is, isn't it? These are legends, basically, in their own right because of what they've won. But then, you know, coming out to slag the players and slag the club is a problem. And even a Casemiro of his age has won 5 Champions Leagues in that same midfield role and still won 2 more trophies to back it. Come on. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. We'll continue to react to things like this. The next video you're probably going to see is going to be transfer reaction show with regards to all of the transfer news with the managers, with the players, and all of that. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye and God bless.